If you rely on Social Security or SSI payments, what I'm about to tell you could save you from a financial disaster next month. Millions of Americans are about to experience something that happens only every few years, and most people have no idea it's coming. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's happening with your October Social Security payments, why some people will get 2 checks while others get none in November, and most importantly, the specific steps you need to take right now to protect yourself from late fees, overdrafts, and financial stress. Welcome to Financial Area, where we keep you ahead of government changes that affect your money. If this information helps you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more essential financial updates that could save you hundreds of dollars. Let me start with a bombshell that's about to hit millions of Americans. October 2024 is not a normal month for Social Security and SSI payments. The way the calendar falls this year is creating a perfect storm that will disrupt the payment schedule that millions of people depend on like clockwork. Here's what's happening. The Social Security Administration doesn't process payments on weekends or federal holidays. When your scheduled payment day falls on one of these days, they automatically move your deposit to the last business day before the weekend or holiday. This system usually works smoothly, but occasionally it creates a situation where 2 payments land in 1 month, leaving the next month with absolutely nothing. That's exactly what's happening this October, and it's going to affect millions of SSI recipients in a way that could cause serious financial problems if you're not prepared. If you receive SSI benefits, you need to understand this immediately. You will receive 2 payments in October. Let me repeat that. 2 full payments in October. Here's the breakdown. On October 1st, you'll get your regular monthly payment just like always. Then, on October 31st, you'll receive what would normally be your November payment. The reason? November 1st falls on a weekend, so the Social Security Administration is pushing that payment back to the last business day of October. Now, here's the part that trips up thousands of people every time this happens. When November arrives, there will be no new SSI deposit. Zero. Nothing. Your bank account will show no new money on November 1st, and if you're not prepared for this, you might think your benefits have been stolen, cut, or that the system has made a mistake. But for Social Security, retirement, disability, and survivor benefits, the situation is different and depends entirely on your birthday. If your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of any month, your October payment will arrive on October 8th. If your birthday is between the 11th and 20th, you'll get paid on October 15th. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and 31st, your payment comes on October 22nd. There's also a special category. If you've been receiving Social Security since before May 1997, or if you get both SSI and Social Security, you'll receive your check on October 3rd instead of following the birthday schedule. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? It's just money arriving early. But here's where this becomes dangerous for people living on fixed incomes. Getting money early can actually hurt you financially if you're not disciplined about it. Think about how your budget works. You probably have your rent due on the 1st or 5th of the month. Your utilities, phone bill, and other expenses are timed around when your benefits normally arrive. But when that November payment shows up on October 31st, there's a psychological trap waiting for you. Your brain sees extra money in your account and wants to treat it like a bonus. Maybe you think you can afford that extra grocery trip or finally buy something you've been wanting. But that's not extra money. That's your survival money for November. If you spend it in October, you'll be left with nothing when your November bills come due. And unlike your flexible spending, landlords don't move their due dates just because the government moved your payment date. Let me paint you a picture of what happens to people who get caught off guard by this. Imagine it's November 5th and your rent is due. You check your bank account expecting your usual November 1st deposit, but there's nothing there. Panic sets in. You call the Social Security office, but their phone lines are jammed with thousands of other people in the same situation. You call your bank thinking someone stole your benefits. Meanwhile, your rent is getting later by the day. Late fees are piling up and you're facing potential eviction proceedings. This exact scenario played out the last time the payment schedule shifted like this. Social Security offices were flooded with calls from people who thought their benefits had been cut or stolen. Banks had to explain to thousands of customers that no, their money wasn't missing, it had just arrived early the month before. For seniors balancing rent, utilities, groceries, and prescription medications on a fixed income, this kind of surprise can be absolutely devastating. We're not talking about a minor inconvenience here. We're talking about the difference between having heat in your home or going without, being able to afford your medications or skipping doses, having food on your table or going hungry. So what exactly do you need to do do right now to protect yourself. First, grab a calendar and mark down your exact payment dates. If you get SSI, write down October 1st and October 31st in big letters, and then write no payment on November 1st. If you get Social Security, find your birthday range and mark your October payment date clearly. Next, you need to do something that might feel uncomfortable but is absolutely essential. When that October 31st SSI payment hits your account, you need to pretend it doesn't exist until November 1st arrives. I'm serious about this. Treat that money as completely untouchable. If you have to, set up an automatic transfer to move that money into a separate savings account the moment it arrives. Some people even ask their bank to hold the money in a separate account that they can't easily access with their debit card. Calculate your November expenses right now, today, while you're thinking clearly and not under financial pressure. Add up your rent, utilities, phone bill, groceries, medications, and any other essential expenses. That's the minimum amount from your October 31st payment that needs to stay untouched until November. Here's a practical tip that can save you a lot of stress. Contact your landlord, utility companies, and anyone else you owe money to in early November. Explain the situation before it becomes a problem. Most landlords and utility companies are surprisingly understanding when you communicate with them proactively, rather than after you've already missed a payment. You can say something like, "I wanted to let you know that due to a government payment schedule change, my Social Security payment that normally arrives on the 1st came early on October 31st. I have the money set aside for my November rent, but I wanted to give you a heads up about the timing so there's no confusion." This kind of communication shows responsibility and often earns you goodwill that can be valuable if you ever face real financial difficulties in the future. Now, let's talk about building some long-term protection against these kinds of disruptions. Even if you're living paycheck to paycheck, try to set aside just a few dollars each month, even $5 or $10, into an emergency fund specifically for government payment timing issues. This isn't about building a massive savings account. This is about having a small buffer that can cover you during the gaps that these schedule changes create. Stay informed about future payment schedule changes. This pattern repeats every year or two whenever the calendar aligns in a way that pushes payments around weekends and holidays. By subscribing to reliable sources that track Social Security updates, you'll never be caught off guard again. If you're tech savvy, set up calendar reminders for yourself well in advance of these known schedule changes. If you're not comfortable with technology, ask a family member or friend to help you stay aware of upcoming changes. Now, what do you do if something goes wrong and your payment doesn't arrive when it's supposed to? First, don't panic. Check the official Social Security payment schedule online or call the Social Security Administration. Have your Social Security number and personal information ready. If your payment was supposed to arrive and didn't, they can trace it and tell you exactly what happened. If your payment was issued but didn't reach your bank account, contact your bank immediately. Sometimes there are processing delays or technical issues that can delay deposits by a day or two. Your bank can tell you if a deposit is pending or if there's been a problem with the transfer. Whatever you do, don't assume your benefits have been cut or stolen without investigating first. The vast majority of the time when people think their Social Security payment is missing, it's actually a timing or processing issue that gets resolved quickly once you know who to call and what questions to ask. Here's something else you need to understand. This October situation is not a one-time event. This same pattern will repeat every year or two when the calendar aligns the same way. Each time it happens, thousands of people who forgot about the previous time get caught in the same trap. But now you know what to look for and how to prepare. Think of this October as training for the future. You're building the habits and knowledge that will protect you every time the government payment schedule shifts. You're learning to budget across irregular timing, to communicate proactively with creditors, and to treat early payments as untouchable until the month they're intended for. The bottom line is this: October will bring 2 SSI payments for millions of Americans, followed by 0 payments in November. Social Security recipients will see their payments shifted based on their birthdays and specific circumstances. These aren't cuts to your benefits. They're timing changes that can cause serious problems if you're not prepared. Mark your calendar, budget for the gap, communicate with anyone you owe money to in early November, and treat that October 31st payment as November money, not October bonus money. With preparation and knowledge, you can navigate this change without financial stress or crisis. Remember, reliable information is your safety net in situations like this. By staying informed and planning ahead, you turn potential financial disasters into minor inconveniences. You have the power to protect yourself, but only if you act on what you now know.
If this video helped you understand what's coming and how to prepare for it, please hit that like button and share it with anyone else who might be affected by these changes. Subscribe to Financial Area for more updates that could save you money and protect your financial security. Because in a world where government policies and payment schedules can change without much warning, staying informed isn't just helpful, it's essential for your financial survival.